What is up, everybody? High Level Josh here again. It's been a while, right? I took some time off recently because I just had a baby boy, but we are back at it. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to add custom questions or really qualifying questions to your high level calendar, right? This is super important, especially if you're doing book call or a book call funnel, or if you have a discovery calendar or an intro calendar inside your GHL. So when someone goes to book a call with you or your team, right, they're going to select the day, they're going to select the time, they go over here, and then they usually just fill out this default form, right? This default form is what's used on all GHL calendars when you create something. But today I'm going to show you how to add your qualifying questions, right? Make it a customized calendar questions. So when someone books an appointment with you, you can really see and qualify and kind of gauge, is this someone that's going to be a really good fit or not really at all? So let's dive right in and let's go for it. So here is a list of qualifying questions that I put together. This is actually for one of my clients right now. They're running an AI business right now, and they are running a book call funnel. So they have these qualifying questions that they want to ask. Now, a few recommendations when it comes to qualifying questions. As you can see here, this one is a free text, right? What is your company name, right? That's one question that they want to ask. When we are creating this, you're going to have free text, which is they can type in anything, and you can have like a small free text and also a multi-line. So let's say if you want something like, hey, explain, a bit about yourself and what you guys do, you can have a multi-line free text. But I really recommend, if you are going to be doing these qualifying questions inside your GHL calendar, to have preset answers, right? So these are going to be drop-down answers. You can do drop-downs. You can do a checkbox. You can do a multi-drop-down where it's a drop-down and they can select multiple answers. But usually, I would recommend to do preset answers, right? So you give them the answers that you're going to be able to do. And then also, if you want, you can also do these free text as well, but just be very careful with that because they can really type in anything, right? If they clearly, type in a space, it will count as an answer. So let's dive right in. Let's do this one by one. Now, to add basically custom questions or qualifying questions to your high level calendar, what you're going to do is you're going to create a custom form, right? So we're going to go over here to, you're going to go to your sub account. You're going to go to settings inside your sub account on the bottom left. Click on that. Then after that, you're going to click on, sorry, I don't know where I'm going. We're going to sites. We're going to sites over here. Once we are in sites, we're going to go to forms at the very top where I click and then click on builder. And then this is where you're going to add your form, right? Your custom form. Here, we're going to click on add form on the top right with that little blue button. You're going to say start from scratch. You can also select a template. I would say let's do it from scratch like that. You know how to style and do everything yourself. Click on create. Also, it doesn't need to be super stylish, right? This is going to be on the GHL calendar itself. And as you can see here, it's very plain. First name, last name, phone, email, all black and white, additional information, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to kind of follow the same process. They're going to give you this form template first, just like this. We are going to rename this to, let's say, discovery call QQ or qualifying question form, right? And you can also state like a calendar form, right? This is a specific calendar form. Then we have these standard fields that already come in place. I usually delete this. I also delete the very bottom privacy and terms. You, of course, do your due diligence and, add your privacy policy and terms and conditions if you want inside your, your form on the calendar. Personal preference in that sense. Here's my recommendations. Number one, all your fields inside your form, no matter what you have in here, make them all required. What's the point of asking these qualifying questions if people don't need to really actually answer them, right? They can, like, if, for example, if I had this how it was, right, not required, someone can put their phone and email and then hit submit to book a call with me, and I don't know the person's first name and last name. So make sure you have everything required. When it comes to the actual calendar form, I usually don't really care that much in regards to first name, last name. So I would actually switch this off for, you see on the very left-hand side, we have all these standard fields that we can drag and drop in here. I would just do full name, right? Keep it simple. That's one less field that they need to answer. I would definitely collect phone and then email. I would actually reorder this where you have full name first, email, and then the phone number. And then after that, now we can start adding in these custom questions. Now, you can add them right here from this view, but I also want to show you how to add them outside of this view in that sense. So we're gonna do all these questions not in this view, but here you're gonna have, like, for example, on this case, one second, I have here, these qualifying questions that we have made in the past in this account. And we can literally drag and drop them just like this, right? Are you a GHL master? And then this is a drop down, and they can select yes, getting there. And then I've watched the GHL Mastery Masterclass or whatever it is. So these are custom questions that I've done. And once you create your custom questions, you can put them into these folders like the QQ folder that I created, and then you can just drag and drop them into your form. Now, let's take a step back, and we have full name, email, phone right now. We're going to create all these other questions together, and we can also edit the actual button from this view. Now, the button in this case, you can edit it, but when we add this form into the calendar in calendar settings, it's actually going to replace the button in itself. It's not going to showcase the button at all. It's always going to show this default schedule meeting button down here. Okay, so the button doesn't really matter that much within the form itself. Okay, so let's hit save here for now. And then let me walk you how to create these custom questions. Now we are going to go to your sub account, click on settings. That's why I was a little confused a little while ago. Then we're going to go all the way down here where it says custom fields, right? Custom fields, not custom values. Very, very important. I think I have a video already on my YouTube that explains what is custom fields versus custom values. If not, I will create it. But a lot of people get confused there. In this case, for custom questions and qualifying questions specific to the contact, we are going to be selecting custom fields. Once we are here, I always recommend you guys to create a folder to add all these custom questions that you create. So like that's very easy for you to find them when you are actually collecting information. So we already have one here for QQs. Let's say we're running that QQs folder and those custom questions in there for another campaign, right? Maybe either another calendar or maybe it's an opt-in form, and that's what we're asking. I would specifically add a folder here, right? And I'd say, okay, these are my calendar QQs or qualifying questions. And then I'm gonna hit save, right? So I create this new folder that has 0 fields, as you can see here. I'm going to move this up to the very, very top. So like that, when I click on a contact, I can quickly go to this folder and see those questions and answers. And then once I do that, I'm going to click on the folder itself. And then here we're able to create these qualifying questions. To do that, on the right-hand side, top right, click on add field. And then we're going to have all these fields that we can create, right? Or questions we can create. Here we have text input. So this is the free text line. This is the multi-line. And then we also have other fields that we create in regards to values like the number, phone, monetary. And then we do have the choosing options, which is the drop down, the multi drop down. So this is like you're going to have a drop down where they can select multiple things. And then we do have the radio select buttons, which is like these little buttons with the answers right next to it. Checkbox if you want multiple things to be checked off, right? This is more for like, let's say, you are a pressure cleaning company. You're like, hey, what services would you like, right? And it's like roof wash, pressure cleaning, pool, whatever it is, right? Multiple selections. And you can do other stuff here like the date picker as well for specific dates, file uploads, right? Let's say you want to, this is not really for the calendar itself, but like if you want to do an onboarding form, right? And you want to, collect, let's say, a driver's license or a specific, EIN doc, and they can actually upload their file right there and then you're good to go. And then lastly here we have the signature itself. So this is like really, really cool in regards to like if you're building, some type of contract, you can also collect signatures within the forms, which is cool. So in this case, the very first one is company name. That's free text. Now for company name, this is a field within inside GHL that they already have standard. So we really don't need to create it. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So let's go straight to number 2, which is what type of business do you run? And as you can see here, we have a drop down selection, right? Drop down, and it's, they pick one. So I'm going to copy this, the question itself, go over here, and we are going to hit drop down single, click next, field name. And then here I will be able to select the group, right? Or the folder that we want these questions to be in. In this case, I already, since we created the folder first, and then now we opened the folder and then started adding the fields inside, it's already auto-selected. But if you don't, it will automatically go to contact folder. I would recommend to always use a folder so like that everything's organized. And then from there, you can select your options or actually input your options right after that. So I can quickly copy all of these guys and then start putting one by one, right? So that's option 1. And then this is option 2 and so forth. So I'm going to do this really quick. So like that, you guys don't see it, me copy and pasting. And then I'll show you on the next, what we do on the next one. All right, so I just added the very first one. Once I do that, it's the same thing over and over again, right? I'm going to click on add field on the very top right, click on add field. In this case, I am doing drop downs for all of these qualifying questions. So we can just do that really quick. And I can just do this, for example, how many inbound calls? And I'm going to show you a few kind of examples of other ones too as well, so you guys can see that. But we can do something like this and then just drop in the things that the actual drop downs, right? Which is like this. Perfect. Boom. Perfect. And one more. And then once we add our options, we can click on save. And then that's number 2. And I'm going to follow this process for all of these other questions in regards to, specific, let's say this is just question, this is a drop down as well. But then we can do stuff like, let me change this one up a little bit. So instead of doing a drop down here, I can say, what's your monthly revenue? And that one, I want to make sure they give me like, let's say a monetary value. Instead of doing a drop down for this one, I can do monetary, click on next, the actual name here. And then after that, click on save, and then now they are able to only put a number value there, right? So what's your monthly revenue? They can put there $10, they can put 1,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever it is, but they decide what they want to type in money wise. Now, normally out of all these qualifying questions, right, I really do like to have the drop down single is one of my favorites because like that you have preset answers and they have to select something from that list. If you leave it up to them, like, hey, put a number in or a monetary number, this just gives them the option to put 0, right? Or some random number that doesn't really make sense. So the drop down really does make a lot of sense if you want them to be like, hey, I have to pick something in between, something in between like under 10K, 10K to 30, 30 to 100. Like they have to pick something within those preset answers. Another thing we can do here as well is you can do radio select buttons, right? This is just formatting where it's not really like they don't need to select the drop down to see all the answers. If you want someone to see the answers from the very beginning without clicking anything, a radio select button is really good. So like, for example, how soon are you looking to get started? I can, instead of doing a drop down with this one, I can do a radio select button, click on next, hit the actual, copy in or paste in the question here, and then give them the options right from the very start without actually them seeing them needing to select the actual drop down window, right? So once I do something like this, just exploring right now, and I hit save, now we're going to be able to see all of these guys in action. And just to kind of go back to the company name, that one is free text, but that company name or business name is actually already a standard field within inside GHL. So if we go over here to all of the custom fields over here, click on all fields, and if you search up business name, or I think it's business name or company name, yeah, right here. So company name right here is business name inside GHL. As you can see, this one is in the folder general info. If I want to switch that, right, let's say I want to use this for my calendar, I can click on it, click on edit, or in this case, I can't really edit it because it's a standard field. So that's not really possible. Let me see here. Yeah, but I can move. I can't edit it because it's a standard field, but I can move it into the actual folder that I want. So calendar QQs, move that over. Once I move it over into the actual folder, I can then also reorganize this however I want, right? So I can put business name at the very top. I can put, what's your monthly revenue, and this is really so not really to do with the form itself, but if I go into the contact, that is going to be the order that I'm going to see it within the contact view. I'll show you that in just a second. So this is a standard field, open text. This is monetary. This is drop down, single option, drop down, single option, and then radio select. Now let me show you one final one. So for example, let's say I want to do a multi-line. This is like if you want them to explain like more than 2-3 sentences, you can say, describe your business in 2 to 3 sentences, right? I can click on save. And then now it's a large text, right? So now let's see all of these fields that we created inside that calendar form itself. To do that, we first have to add these questions into the form and then add that form into the calendar. Let's move on that. Click on forms again, builder. Let's find the actual one that we've been working on, which is this one. I think it's discovery call QQ calendar form, that one right there. I'm going to now, right, drag and drop all the questions that we created. And you're going to find that over here where it says add objects, and then click on the folder that we were just in. And then now it's a simple thing as, drop in all the stuff, right? So what's your monthly revenue? I'm going to put that here. What's the business, type? How many outbound calls? How soon are you looking to get started? Describe your business in 2 to 3 sentences. And then we do have the business name that's still actually over here in general, or somewhere here actually. Let me see. Where's the business name? Should be here. Oh, it's a standard field. That's why. So if it's a standard field, you're not going to actually see them over here on the right-hand side. You're going to actually go where it says add quick add. And then it's going to be here on this side. We're going to see it as organization. That's how they call business name over here. It's going to say organization. But here you can just say, switch it out for business name on the right-hand side. And then I can literally select the same thing and click on business name. Now, a good thing to note here is we always want to have some type of contact information before we ask qualifying questions. So if you make a form without an email really or a phone number, and they fill all this out and book an appointment, it will not create a contact with inside your GHL account. So please, 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 before I see this mistake happen all the time, where they get excited, people get excited, they put all their qualifying questions, but they don't do the two things, right? One of the two mandatory fields that creates a contact with inside your GHL account, which is either an email or a phone. So if for example, you just put full name and then all these qualifying questions and someone submits it, no contact. You have no one to really attach all this information to, right? You also don't have any way of communicating with that person. You just know it's Josh, right? And Josh has a business name and they're random. You don't know who the person is. So before you do anything, before you add any qualifying questions, make sure you always have either a phone or an email. Because if you have one of those two, now you do have a contact. It will create the contact and then add all these fields or all these answers to these questions to that specific contact with inside your GHL account. I recommend always full name, all right? Click on it, make sure it's required. Click on email, make sure it's required. Click on phone, make sure it's required. And then after that, any other qualifying question that you add, make sure it's required too. There's no point of adding a qualifying question if you're not going to make it required. So make all of them required first. Then I'm going to click on that. Perfect. Click on that. Good. And then this is because we added the phone again, and that's why this pops again. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to also delete this. Okay, so this is how our form is looking like right now. Now, the next step I like to do is I also like to have add some type of placeholders to many of these guys. So for example, $10,000, right? Give them something like an example in a way. Also, it's a good thing to, give them easy questions first. So I like to reorder things like this. So business name, very easy to answer. What type of business do you run? Also easy to answer. Another thing here for these drop downs, I do like to use this as a placeholder, these little 2 dashes, and then hit select, or actually type out select. So like this. I like to do that for my drop downs placeholders. So that's good. An example here, this is required, great. And as you can see, required fields have that little asterisk. So if you don't see that asterisk at the end of your question, it is not required, make it required. Describe your business in 2 to 3 sentences. I like that to do at the very end. This is also an easy one to do. So I would do that here. I would also put the placeholder here for this drop down. This one actually I'd like to do at the very end because this is an easy one. So here's another one that we want to do a placeholder, right? Enter your answer here, right? Or type in your answer here, whatever it is, whatever you want as a placeholder, you can put there. All right, let's do this. Perfect. So I have drop down business name. They type it in. Drop down. What's your revenue? Describe your business in 2 to 3 sentences. How soon are you looking to get started? As you see, this is a radio select button, so they see the actual preset answers from the very beginning, and all they got to do is just select one of these boxes or these circles, and they're good to go. So there it is. That's how you create a custom, or that's how you add custom questions to your high-level calendar. And now let's see it in action. I'm going to hit save here. Then I'm going to go back to the calendar itself, click on calendars, calendar settings. Then we're going to find the calendar we were in already, which in this case, it was the private call, right? With this one right here, right? Private call with Go Digital Growth Lab. Awesome. I'm going to click on edit calendar. Then I'm going to go over here to where it says advanced settings, and then the one that says form and confirmation. Click on that. And here's where you're going to select form. As you can see, this is the default one. We're going to select here, and then we're going to put the one that we created just now, which is the discovery call QQ calendar form. This is our name of the form. Once I do that, I can then hit save. And now when I share this calendar, let's say I'm going to get this scheduling link here, and I open up the calendar now, you're going to see everything on the front end looks the same. Pick a time, pick a day, time and day, then hit select. And now we do see not the default one, but our custom qualifying questions, right? And people can come over here, put in all their answers, right? I can type in my business name, right? I can do what business do you run, right? Let's say GHL Fitness. Now I do see here I made a mistake, right? Which is I added medical med spa twice. So I can go over there back to my qualifying questions or my custom fields and delete that. I'll show you that in just a second. But then after that, it's just type in whatever it is, right? Blah, blah, blah. Boom. And then I can hit schedule meeting. Now, let me show you really quick as a bonus. If you do make a mistake, just like how I did right there, it's very, very easy. All you got to do now is go over here, back to your sub account, go to settings, custom fields, go to the folder that we created, and then what type of business do you run? Click on the 3 dots on the right-hand side, edit, and there it is, right? I can just delete it, or let's say I missed one, which maybe I didn't do the real estate one. Yes, I didn't. I'll replace that. I can replace it, or I can just delete it with a little trash can and then hit save. Once I do that, I can actually refresh this whole entire page, pick a time of day, and then there it is. What type of business do you run? I only have one medical med spa, right? Which is it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's how you add qualifying questions. I highly recommend you to do this. So like that, you get a little bit more information when someone goes to book with you or your team, and you can really gauge that call, if they're qualified or not before they even show up. All right. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video.